I believe the House version has already moved through the House and is out, but Senate Bill 188 essentially works to fix some of the problems that have been created through court action. Beginning in 2003, the Missouri court started handing down the decisions that have literally reshaped the traditional understanding of employment law in our state. The net effect of these court opinions has been to lower the bar for the plaintiff bringing lawsuits against his or her employer under the Missouri Human Rights Act, even beyond what has traditionally been the federal standards, which were originally established under the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And since that time, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, Missouri law has always followed federal law. Following these opinions, this profound move really on part of the Supreme Court and the appellate courts over the last decade have expanded the ability of an employee to bring a lawsuit against his or her employer. Although our courts once closely followed federal precedent for employment law, they have increasingly forged their own path. In fact, an article in the Journal of the Missouri Bar observed, quote, "Missouri courts have expanded protections in many ways beyond the long-tested and well-developed federal employment protections. The evolving public policy of Missouri, as interpreted by courts, have created an era in the Missouri employment discrimination arena." The article goes on to say that essentially that they have rewritten the rules of law. As the branch of government that's constitutionally empowered to make public policy, the legislature needs to be very specific and fix this issue. And I would humbly submit that Senate Bill 188 is the public policy position that we are bringing forward, because I believe it is the job of the legislature, not the courts, to write law. And so Senate Bill 188 puts into statutory law that realigns us back to the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And let's remember, when the Civil Rights Act was signed by Lyndon Johnson, Martin Luther King was standing on that stage with him. And to argue that by passing this bill, we are doing anything other than bringing ourselves back into a line with that act, to act like this is in any way, shape, or form hurting the rights of people of this state, would be to argue that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 did not protect the rights of the citizens of this country. And I think we all agree that it did.
Rich Aubuchon has served as the General Counsel of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce, going on record in support of the bill. Voting yes for Senate Bill 188 will bring Missouri's law in line with Federal Employment and Civil Rights Act, and I believe it will allow our situation in Missouri to have a more prosperous business environment.